So welcome again to today's training webinar for Prime Seller Leads 5.0. If you're following along there at home or at work, please log in to the back end of your Prime Seller Leads website. So the first thing that you'll notice is that there's a completely new navigation menu. We've cleaned a lot of things up, so it's definitely easier to access materials in certain areas and a lot easier to stay organized. The very first thing that you'll notice is this brand new tab for marketing. So a lot of the it's going to be a lot of the same features that were released with Prime Seller Leads 4.0 and 4.5. But yeah, now it's all organized in one marketing tab. So that under this marketing section, there's going to be all of your drip email campaign sections. The new voicemail section, which we'll go over in just a few moments here. The e-flyer section, so that if you get a listing through our program, you can choose between 10 different templates to upload photos, add MLS numbers, your agent number, download that file as a PDF, and then share that document wherever you want on the web via email or on your website. Also, the widget section, and one of the new specific features for the widgets is now they can be customized using the theme editor. Okay, so that's definitely the first thing at a glance is that you'll notice with Prime Seller Leads 5.0 is we try to clean up this whole design and organize things so that it's definitely easier to access what you're trying to accomplish in the right area. So also another section that's updated and added in the navigation menu is the calendar section. And then also settings have been rearranged so that it makes a little bit more sense. Along here is just going to be sort of the general site settings and everything associated with your account, and then just right to the right of that is going to be the API access settings, where if you notice there's the brand new Infusionsoft API settings that we integrated with for Prime Seller Leads 5.0. So first things first. Since we're on the subject right here, if you are an Infusionsoft subscriber and have Infusionsoft CRM and contact management system, you now can send leads directly to your Infusionsoft account from your Prime Seller Leads backend. So in order to do that, if you have Infusionsoft, you just hover your cursor over Settings, scroll down to the Infusionsoft API settings and click on it. Then from there, what you have to do is turn it on. And all you have to do is enter your Infusionsoft API key and your Infusionsoft connection name. So your API key is going to be located in the back end of your Infusionsoft account. If you have questions about accessing where it is, I would definitely contact your Infusionsoft representative. They'll be able to provide you your API key that's specifically associated with your account. From there, you just enter your Infusionsoft connection name and then click Save. Okay, and so from that moment forward, any leads that come through the system now will automatically be accessible through your Prime Seller Leads CRM and then also your Infusionsoft account, so that you can work these leads simultaneously in both areas if that's what you're trying to do, or just use Infusionsoft to manage these leads. Perfect. So the next, one of our largest features with the update is the new voicemail marketing. So now you can send voicemail messages to lead phone numbers directly from your Prime Seller Leads admin account. So in order to access this new setting and see exactly what I'm talking about here, we hover our cursors over marketing and then scroll down to the voicemail section and select Manage Voicemails. And so essentially what you can do is the same way that you would assign someone to a drip email campaign, you can go ahead and assign leads to these voicemail lists. select the schedule when you want these voicemails to be sent out, and the exact message of the voicemail. So we don't have anything pre-recorded because it's definitely better if it comes from your own voice, since you're going to be dealing and working with these leads directly and not our company. What we suggest is definitely get a few good recordings based on different lead scenarios. So if it's the first contact one, you can create a voicemail specifically for first contacts. If you want to personalize it for every single lead, then you can put in have recordings of specific recordings for that lead with their name, information, all of that. Or you can just do a general one to just have voicemails be directly sent to your entire lead list within your CRM. So the very first step in order to use this is start recording the voicemails you want to send out. So if it's, I definitely would identify what you're trying to accomplish with it first. If it's like first contact, or if it's a list of leads that haven't responded to the drip email campaign, really based on whatever scenario you're experiencing with your leads, and then you can custom craft that message. In order to go ahead and start that, you just click the microphone button, and you will receive this prompt within your back end. You can go ahead and name the audio. And from here, you should receive a prompt from your web browser to allow our website, Your Prime Seller Leads website, to use your microphone. So we just click Allow. And there you can actually see while I'm talking here, those are the voice levels are registering it within the analyzer. And now in order to start and stop the recording, we just click right on this microphone icon. So in order to start the recording, we just go ahead and click Start. It starts instantly, so you can go ahead and start recording your message. Please keep it under 45 seconds or less in length. And then from there, as soon as we're happy with that specific recording, we just click on the microphone again, and it's storing this recorded message. So you can see that the recorded time was 16 seconds and 9 milliseconds. And then in order to save it, we just click this button right here, and that actually can save it to your downloads folder on your computer if you want to keep track of those and use them in the future. Or since you recorded it through the back end of your Prime Seller Leads website, you can also keep recordings there as well. So in order to continue and save this to your Prime Seller Leads website, what we do is just click this green save message. And it just takes a second there. There we go. And so there's that test 1, 2, 3 that we just created. You can go ahead and click here to play the file so that you can hear what each one of them says before you send it out, if you need to edit it, if you need to erase it. This section right here is to edit any information about it. You can delete it with this trash icon, or you can download that audio file to your downloads folder within your computer. So from here, definitely the next step is to really expedite this whole process is to select the leads and create a lead list that you would like, that you would specifically like to send out with your leads and these voicemails. So what we can do is we can go ahead and create a new list and say this is going to be a voicemail for first contact. There we go. Status, just yes, so that it shows up live, and then we just save the list. Okay, and then from this list, we can see there's the first contact one. Now, the next step is going to be populating leads to this list by going into your CRM and adding them to this. So in order to do that, we're going to leave this section. We're going to hover our cursor over CRM and then all leads. Okay, just taking a second here. There we go. All right, and so what we can do from here in order to add these leads to a voicemail list, we go ahead and select the leads we want to add. So obviously this isn't a good one for this map because there's no phone number, but we can add Mary, go down here. Okay, and so once you've selected the leads you'd like to add to this list, we go ahead and click Add Leads to Voicemail. We select the list, so first contact, and then from here we just click Save List. So now that you are saving these leads to this specific list. Okay, and so now you receive that prompt. Selected leads are inserted into voicemail list successfully. And now let's go ahead and go back to the voicemail section, which is marketing, and then manage voicemails. Okay, and so now the next step is to create a schedule. But before we do that, let's go ahead and double check our list. So if we click on this drop-down box and click First Contact, there's all the leads that we have selected for the list. You can always edit this list or delete it right from the section, or add a brand new list if you desire. Now the final step is to create a schedule so that when to send this out, just because the system doesn't do it just automatically. It's kind of like a drip email campaign in the sense that you have to choose the exact day and time that you'd like this to be sent out. So the next step is to click this green plus button in the voicemail schedule section. From here, the title of it, so let's call it the first contact one. Say if we're reaching out to leads first time with a voicemail. Let me just, there we go. Okay, you can choose the caller ID you wish to send it from. So you can go ahead and personalize that. So if you want it to send from your work number so they know to call that back, you can go ahead and add that information. Okay. And the next step, the scheduled date. So you're going to choose the day that you want it to send out. So say we want it to send out Friday morning. So we're going to choose Friday from this list. And morning, again, this is programmed in military time because all servers are. So let's go ahead and say we want this to go at 9 a.m. So 9 a.m. and done. Now this is the section where we go ahead and select the list, the audio file that we just recorded, and that list. So since this is the first contact one we're creating, we can select that audio. There's that test 123 that we just created. The phone number list, so the list we just created with the leads. So there's the first contact. Then you can choose to send to mobiles only, or both mobile and home phones or work phones or whatever else. So let's say we just want to do mobiles only, and then from here we just click Save Schedule. But they're definitely all necessary in order to program and use this correctly. So essentially, just to review, you have to record your voicemail first, create your list, then add the leads to that specific list, and then from there create a schedule as to when to send that voicemail out. For our purposes, since these are just leads coming through to our business site, we can go ahead and delete these ones out of here. Okay, perfect. So that brings us into the very next section here. So that's definitely the voicemail section for voicemail marketing. So after that, we have a lot of new lead import features with Prime Seller Leads 5.0, so that you now can have leads import directly into PSL from a third-party CRM service. So in order to access that section, we go to Settings, and then, oops, there we go, Settings, and then Import Leads. And so based on which service you're trying to import leads from, there's a specific email address that's associated with your domain name. And so there's instructions for each one of these. So these are the current ones that we integrate with so that leads can automatically sync to our system. So Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com, Market Leader, eEdge, and Realty Now. If you have any suggestions of what you'd like to import here automatically, please, we're always happy to add them to the list. You can reach us at support@ivortexmedia.com, or if you have another integration request you want us to talk about over the phone, you can always reach us at 888-485-4234. So again, based on which source you're trying to import leads to our system from, you just click on that section and there's the exact instructions on how to set up the import leads function based on whatever CRM you're trying to import to ours. Okay, so that takes us to the very next feature that we launched with Prime Seller Leads 5.0. So we have a bulk lead import from a CSV file. So you can upload leads from a CSV file and designate what information goes where within your CRM. So let's go ahead and if we go to CRM and then import leads, takes us to this new section. And so what you can do is a CSV file, basically you can create that in a Microsoft Excel format. What you can do is actually choose that file and choose which areas they're going to be sent to and synced with within the back end of your Prime Seller Lead CRM. So let's go ahead. Okay, let me find one real quick here. Okay, so let's go ahead and click this section. Okay, yes, and the main important thing is to make sure you save it as a CSV file. But essentially, once you get this section working correctly and you have it as a CSV file, you can choose which column goes where within your CRM. So if the first section is name, you then can match it up there. Unfortunately, I do not have a preview or example of that for you, but I'm happy to provide that after today's webinar if you request that. So you can go ahead and say if you keep track of your leads in a spreadsheet, you can then coordinate what column of the spreadsheet gets added to what specific section of your CRM and your Prime Seller Leads website. Okay, and so yeah, so that's going to be another feature for the 5.0, again, which is the bulk lead import from a CSV file. And so that brings us to the next section, about halfway through all of the brand new features here, is going to be the calendar section, was a great new tool really to help stay organized and run a well-advised campaign. So in order to get to that section, we just hover our cursors over calendar and then view calendar. Perfect. And so what you'll notice if you go ahead and go to this section is that a lot of information will preload if you have a very active campaign. It will show, it'll break down how many full leads and partial leads have come across on the exact day that they came across, and how many returning leads and new leads as well. So you can also have lead reminders populate here. And now all this information you're in control over as to what populates on this. Just went back by accident. There we go. And you're in control of the information that populates on this calendar. So if you don't want to see, say, your partial leads and lead reminders and the unassigned leads, then it'll just populate the data for new and returning leads. In order to populate this and have it show up live on your calendar, you just click to add that section back. Okay, and so that's going to be data based on your Prime Seller Leads account and everything really associated with as far as lead flow. So you can really break it down into a comprehensive format. You can view it as like just a regular monthly calendar. You can change it to just this week if that's what you're focusing on, and then also just the day if you really want to get that specific and take a look at that day. So yeah, there's definitely another great navigation tool right there to view it as to the specific information you're trying to find on your account. From here, this section right here for events almost functions the same way. Or if you have this section selected, then all your appointments will show, your to-dos, your meetings, phone calls, all of this. But as with every other list in your Prime Seller Leads account, this is customizable, even down to the color and font that you use for it. So that's if you're already using these features with your CRM. So if you're setting appointments with your CRM, if you're setting to-dos or meetings, phone calls, all of that, then that information will populate. So in order to go ahead and manage and update this section, we just click on Manage Events. And what you can do is you can select which event type you would like to edit or remove. So this is that drop-down list, which was right over here before we clicked Manage Events. So that, say if you wanted to remove the personal section, you select that and just click Remove Selected. And if you want to edit that section, you just click Edit Selected. So you can choose the font color, the background color, and who that specific event type is visible to. So you as the administrator on the account can share those event types with your agents if you want them to stay organized that way, and visible to your lender partner if you have connected a bank account as well. So from there, all you do is just click Save, and once you have it looking exactly how you want, and then from there, those updates will be live. So now, say if you wanted to add another event type to this list, we just click Manage Events, Add. So say we want to keep track of a specific thing that we do a lot with our campaigns, like let's go ahead and say Start Drip for, and then 1 month lead. Okay. Let's make it visible to both people, and then from here we just click Save. And so that event type has been saved successfully. It will then go ahead and just refresh this calendar page, and there it is, just as simple as that. And now say you don't like it, let's go to Manage Events, select the event type, and remove Selected if we do not want that on the event type list. Okay, so one of the last two things associated with the calendar is definitely going to be just how to add a quick event or take note of something on the go. So if you want to add a note or something, a task you have to complete within this calendar of the back end, say on the 27th that we have to call, say on the 27th we have to go ahead and update all of the 3-month leads that are on a drip campaign. Then we click on the 27th. We can go ahead and title it. So update drip campaign. We select the type. It's a to-do. From here, we go ahead and put in the description. Create new drip campaign for 3-month sellers and add them to the campaign. We can go ahead and click on the start date. So let's say this again, we clicked right on the 27th, so that's when it's going to be, but you can also edit that if that was a mistake. If you have to run longer than the 27th, then you can go ahead and say, you know what, I want to do it, make sure it gets done at least by the 30th. From there, if it's an all-day event, then you can leave that. It'll stay on there. If not, you can select a specific time that it has to get accomplished. So you put the time right on there, and you can choose the exact time right here as to when that event has to take place. Okay, but for our purposes, let's just leave it as an all-day event and go ahead and click Create Event. There we go. So as we said, we wanted to take from the 27th to the 30th to make sure we go ahead and update the drip campaign and assign new leads to it. So if we just click on it, there's the description of it again if you want to edit it really quick. And say, say, you know what, I really didn't want the 27th. I just want it to get done by Friday the 31st. Then we can just click and drag that. It's an update prompt will appear. with the new updates. From there, we just click Save Changes if that's what we want, or Revert if that was a mistake. Okay, perfect. So that brings us to the last section of the new calendar update for Prime Seller Leads 5.0, which is syncing your Google Calendar. So in order to do that, we click on the Sync Google Calendar in the top left section, or we go to Calendar and Sync Google Calendar. So it gives you this prompt right here. Now, I've already gone through this process, and so this is what it looks like for me with my account. But what happens is once you click on that section, you click through Sign into your Google account. You click Accept for us to sync the schedule you have on your calendar with your Prime Seller Leads calendar. And from there, it takes you back to your Prime Seller Leads website. Once you do that, you just click Google Calendar again, and then this is the prompt that you will receive so that you can customize which events you want to sync. So if you only want specific types, if you don't want these birthdays and events, you can really customize it as to what information you'd like to sync with your calendar. From there, once you have selected the specific sections you'd like to sync, we just click Sync Selected, and then it shows up live on your Prime Seller Leads calendar. Now, say if we have to delete a section or want to remove one, we just click on it, and then we just click the red delete button and OK. And it takes a second to refresh, and then it's gone. And so very easy to do if you have to remove these specific events on the go. Perfect. Yep. So that really sums it up with the calendar settings in the new calendar function with Prime Seller Leads 5.0. And so other than that, that brings us into one of the last 4 updates with Prime Seller Leads 5.0. And the next one is that subdomains can now have different videos for steps 2 and 4. So say if you're running a different type of campaign that's targeting new homes, that's targeting foreclosures, that's targeting waterfront properties, or targeting a specific part of your market, then you can have a custom a custom video uploaded to that section that's relevant to the type of people that you are targeting. So in order to go ahead and access that section and see this new update, all we do is hover our cursor over Settings, and then in the center drop-down menu right here, we just go ahead and select Subdomains. Perfect. And so now you'll notice in the Actions column a few new areas that you can click on and a few new icons. So in this section, there's going to so if we click on the first one, this is here to edit which video is on step 2, and the second one is for step 4. And so it's almost identical to the prompt that you received before in order to add that information. So what you do is from there, just click for step 2, use main site settings, do not show a video for this subdomain, or if you want to add that custom one, we go ahead and click show specific video for this subdomain. And then you get that same prompt before that you had either to upload a YouTube or a Vimeo video. So if you want to use the same videos on all of them, you have that ability to do that with your subdomains. If not, you can go ahead and click on either one of these. The play button is for step 2 video. This video button is for step 4 video. So in order to go ahead and add a custom video to a subdomain, we click on that section. We choose between those themes, say we want this one, and then we go ahead and enter the embed URL for that specific video. And if you need any assistance with that, we have great instructions as to, image instructions, so a great visual cue as to the exact section that we need to update and have that video play live on your subdomain or your regular Prime Seller Leads domain. So if you need any additional assistance with that, we always have a great customer support team that's able to take care of that for you. Okay, and so that's really it as far as the functionality of having custom videos for your subdomains, and brings us to the next part of the update for Prime Seller Leads 5.0. So the next section is with the drip email. So the drip email templates can now be edited inside the drip email campaign editor. So in order to access this section, we're going to that new tab. So there's no more drip email tab, it's all under the marketing. So we go to the Manage Drip Email drop-down box, and we go ahead and click View Drip Email Campaigns. Okay, and let's say this is the default one here that we provide with every single Prime Seller Leads website if you're a base account or an exclusive. And we click on that Edit Pencil. Okay, and these are the new sections right here. So if we remember before, and you're a very active user with our drip campaign through Prime Seller Leads, is that this drop-down box was organized based on the subject line of the email template. So before, you could just see the subject line and that was it. And but now what you can do is, let's go ahead and conceal the critters. Let's select that one. And now let's edit selected template. It takes you immediately right to that template so that you can go ahead and edit that information on the go without having to going through all these prompts and search for that specific email template based on the subject line. So it's a lot easier to edit and update and revise your campaign for Prime Seller Leads on the go. So again, before, this section wasn't even here. This was just based on the subject line of the email, but now you can go ahead and edit it easily right within marketing and view drip email campaigns. Okay, perfect. So that brings us to one of the last two updates for Prime Seller Leads 5.0. The second to last one being the dashboard has been improved to show better statistics from traffic sources. So that being said, the dashboard is the very first page that loads for administrator accounts with Prime Seller Leads. So if we go to that section, that's going to be CRM and then Dashboard. And again, this is the very first page that loads when you log in. Okay, so let's go ahead and scroll down a little bit. So basically, not too much information up front, but we have now updated so that we can keep track of this widget based on the traffic by browser section. We've updated more of the browsers that we're able to track now. Before, it really was just Chrome, Firefox, Safari, and I believe iOS, and then it was just Other section. So now if you really like diving into the nitty-gritty of your campaign and you really think that targeting browsers or certain browser types can affect that, then go ahead. We have a great section that accurately reports that information. That what happens with these is these reports, like specifically for identifying where leads come from, with Facebook specifically, the coding of that changes literally on a daily basis. So we have a lot more better programs in place in order to accurately identify this information and populate it within the dashboard of your Prime Seller Leads website. So we always like to dive in a little bit further. There's always agents out there that like just to know a little bit more about their campaign, see how it affects it, and adjust their follow-up strategy in order to improve the results they've been experiencing. So another great new feature with the dashboard, just so we can have a little bit more accurate reporting for the data that's collected, and also just identify further just some of these the real nitty-gritty of the campaign here. So that brings us to the last update for Prime Seller Leads 5.0, and that's going to be that the widgets can now be customized using the theme editor. So let's go ahead and head on to the widgets section. So by going to settings, and then let's go ahead. Actually, I'm still getting used to it myself. It's under marketing. So again, anything associated with the marketing or promotion of your site or follow-up specifically is going to be under the marketing tab. So if we go to the generate widget section under marketing, what we now can do is the ability to customize using this theme editor. So it's just going to be this customize this theme button. And so it takes you to basically what looks like the live editor of the website for setting your page content. But this one's specifically going to be associated with your widget. So you can go ahead, because essentially what shows up when you add a widget to another business website or another site that you have out there is that this box right here is the section that shows up. So you can edit and customize the wording, font size, font color, everything else, just like the live editor, but now you're able to do that and control that with your widgets. So once you're happy and all set with those changes, you can just click back to admin or exit off of that because it does happen live. And so yeah, that's really it. Now we do have a great video for adding a widget. We aren't going to walk through all of that right now just because we're going to get to the questions before the end of today's webinar. But now you are in control as far as every little aspect about how your widget appears to your users on your business website. So yeah, so another great option. So again, that really sums it up for today's webinar with all of our updates. But I'm happy to open it up for questions about anything that anyone has about the Prime Seller Leads 5.0 update. So while I'm waiting for those questions to come through, I do see some that came throughout the webinar, so I will address those. But yeah, so as far as that's concerned, while I'm waiting for any new questions to come through, let's go ahead and just review all of the features that came with the Prime Seller Leads 5.0 update. So the very first one is the improved menu structure for easier site navigation. Second one, and again, these can be sort of used in case you might have forgot your question from earlier there. But yeah, so the second one is going to be the Infusionsoft integration so that you now can send leads directly to your Infusionsoft account from Prime Seller Leads. 3 is that great brand new voicemail marketing option. So now you can send voicemail messages to lead phone numbers directly from your PSL admin. Number 4 was the lead import features. So you now can have leads import directly from a third-party CRM service. Again, the current ones that we have on there, that they're not permanent. So you can go ahead and if you have any suggestions or ones you'd like us to integrate with, please contact us and we can definitely take a look at that for you. Next section is that you can bulk lead import from a CSV file, so that if you just keep track of your leads on a day-to-day basis in like a Microsoft Excel format, you just have to save it as a CSV file. From there, you can really choose which column of that Excel spreadsheet gets added to which section of your CRM. So you really can customize it and easily add that information if you just keep track of your leads in a CSV format through like Microsoft Excel, or really any other program that has spreadsheet ability to be able to save to a CSV file. The next section, number 6, was the brand new calendar. And so the calendar allows you to add events and display leads for each day. This will also sync directly to your Google Calendar account if you set it up that way. Number 7 was that subdomains can now have different videos for steps 2 and 4. Number 8 was the drip email, in the sense that the drip email templates can now be edited inside the drip email campaign editor. And now if we remember, it might have been a little frustrating having to go back and forth between the few sections, identify which email template you wanted to edit based on the subject line. And so to alleviate all that and help expedite your follow-up process and programming of your site, we went ahead and added that quick area where you can easily edit email templates right from the editor section. Okay, and so that brought us to one of the last 2 updates, which was the dashboard has been improved to show better statistics from traffic sources. So again, before, since all of that coding for identifying traffic sources updates basically on a daily basis, we have a better system in place to more accurately identify that information within the dashboard. From there, that brings us to the last update for Prime Seller Leads 5.0 in the sense that widgets can now be customized using the theme editor. So if you're used to using that editor like for setting your page content for your regular domain or subdomain, you can now easily translate that process for your widget as well, so you can really customize it to how you want it to appear on your regular business site or wherever site you're connecting our Prime Seller Leads widget to. Okay, perfect. Let's go ahead and see. I see a good chunk of questions here. Okay, yep. So I do see some people are having some issues with some of these brand new features. Now, what happens since it's an update and updates to universally across everyone's system is there might be something small going on. A lot of the times, since it's based on your personal information that can affect the update, what happens is the first thing I would suggest is to clear your web browser's history and cache. So if you're a Google Chrome user, you can go ahead and click on this section, go to history and clear the cache, and then refresh the page in probably about 75% of the time that'll take care of any issues you're experiencing. Just because with all that coding update, your web browser can remember the old history and site settings of how your site appeared, everything else like that, just so it loads faster. So by clearing that cache and history and removing all that information, it then allows for the new Prime Seller Leads 5.0 update to show more accurately and load correctly. So yeah, so that's what I would do first. If you have any specific things after trying that, please call our customer support department. We're always happy to take a look at it and correct any issues that you might be experiencing. Perfect. So let's go ahead and take a look. Oh, I see a few suggestions coming in as well. Okay, yeah, so it looked like it was just a combo of site issues, suggestions, and everything else like that. So, yeah, I hope that means I did a decent job here today explaining these news updates to you. But yeah, thank you everyone for attending today's webinar. We host these webinars twice a week, every Tuesday and Thursday at 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So yeah, we always like to dive in a little bit further. We're probably, since there's so many updates with Prime Seller Leads 5.0, going to be reviewing those updates in depth over the next few weeks with these webinars. Always learning something more, diving in further, always answering your suggestions that you have, taking a look at them, and answering the questions that you have live during our webinar. So again, yeah, we host these twice a week, Tuesday and Thursday, but every month, every couple of months, we do have very successful agents that use our program and, well, are traditionally successful outside of Prime Seller Leads. But we are able to get those agents, and sometimes there's trainers, franchise owners, brokers, everything. There's a whole mix of types of people that use and have success with our system. And so they actually get on here once a month, once every other month, and go ahead and share their successful follow-up strategies, just so that you can take a look at it and see if that would translate well for a follow-up strategy within your immediate market. So we really like to go above and beyond to connect you with successful agents who get listings on average through our system, have a lot of great strategies to share with everyone as a collective here at Prime Seller Leads. So yeah, so thank you for attending today's webinar. That really sums everything up here. If you have any questions after this point, we have a great customer support team here. You can always reach us at 888-485-4234, and then just hit the prompt for support. Also have a prompt for exclusive support as well. So yeah, so again, thank you for attending. You can, any questions after this, go ahead, reach us by phone. We have live chat right in the back end of your site, and you can always reach us by email. So thank you again, everyone, for attending. If you have any questions here, please call customer support, and we look forward to seeing you next Tuesday and Thursday for our webinars at 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, thanks for attending, everyone, and hope you have a great day. Bye.